Thank you to Canon for sponsoring this video. Don't ask me how in the world it is 6 months into 2022 yet. Somehow I have made it through yet another bullet journal. This baby, oh look, I kind of match it. We have filled it in, so it's time to start a new one, and I'm so excited because we're gonna be starting it in one of these guys, the new Swirl collection. I asked you guys which color you wanted to see me use, so we'll see which one I end up using. I really needed this fresh start, so this switch came at a perfect time. I'm very excited for just a blank slate. So let's get started. Before we switch into the notebook, let's just appreciate our previous notebook, say thank you to it. I always like to look at the side angle and see how much thicker it's gotten from gluing stuff in the pages and all of that, and it's definitely been worn because I've taken it everywhere. And it's just nice to appreciate the memories, but bring in new ones, like this new notebook here. And if you guys haven't seen, these are the new ShopAmandaRachLee Swirl collection notebooks. They have a colored edge and I just think they're so pretty. I'm gonna be using the sage green color, but they also come in lavender and vanilla swirl. Let's open this bad boy up. It's always nice to have a fresh start in a new notebook, especially with how the first half of the year has gone for me. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely been a little bit of a rough first start to 2022, and I'm hoping this new notebook will bring in some fresh start energy. I'm actually using some Swirl washi tape samples. I might make these a thing, I don't know, they're samples, so I'm testing them out, but I do like the way they look. And I am going to be continuing the theme from my previous bullet journal setup, the 2022 setup, where I used these like faux magazine letters. Basically it's just me writing out individual letters in different fonts and cutting it out, and I think it's just a fun way to make things look a little bit more fun and quirky and creative. This time around I'm actually doing it with white paper instead of black, just to switch it up for the second half of the year, but I still wanted to make it look consistent with my previous bullet journal from this year. Okay, I'm actually skipping ahead a little bit to a very special spread that I always do each year, which is my 2022 highlight reel, or my year in photos spread. And that is because this video is actually sponsored by Canon. I'm really excited to work with them for this because you guys always ask me about photo printers and what printers I use for these sort of photo memories types of spreads. And I think the Canon IV mini printer and the Canon IV Click Plus 2 is perfect for these types of spreads. So of course, I'm starting out by writing my header and my title, so I'm using that same swirl tape, and then did 2022 in the magazine letter style. Then I'm just drawing out rectangles, which is where I'm going to be pasting in the pictures once they're printed out. And this year, instead of doing a box for each month, I'm actually just doing a bunch of random boxes, and I'll just keep making new spreads if I feel I need new photo spaces. I felt like one photo a month was a little bit limiting because I have so many fun memories and pictures that I want to include. So I'm gonna try to make the second half of this year's bullet journal a little bit more like a scrapbook. Okay, so what I really love about the Canon IV mini printer is that you can use it anywhere. Anyone can use it. It's really easy, and you also don't need to carry around an extra camera with you, so you just connect it to your phone via Bluetooth, and you just use the Canon IV mini printer app. And on the app you can actually edit, customize, add filters, text, and stickers. And you can also switch out the types of printer paper, so they have these pre-cut circle stickers. I just like the regular rectangle ones. Added bonus to all of this is that on the app you can actually create your own digital stickers. So as you can see here, I drew out these little swirl designs to match the swirl designs on the spread, and on the app you can take a picture of that, it scans it, and you can add that directly on the photo so that it prints out and it looks like it's part of the design. And then you just print it out. It prints on this special IV zinc paper, which has a peel and stick feature. Guys, this was the game changer for me because previously I would have to use some sort of glue tape adhesive or glue stick to tape these photos in, but this has adhesive right on the back, so it's basically a sticker at this point. You can stick it anywhere. Obviously, I'm sticking it in my bullet journal, and there's also no additional ink needed. You just need the little paper cartridges. The prints are water and tear resistant, and I think it's just perfect for this spread. They also have the Canon IV Click Plus 2 camera, which is easy to use with the rest of the product line, like the mini printer and the app. And again, every print is a sticker. So if you guys want to check out this printer, I highly recommend it. I'm gonna link it down below for you guys. Okay, back to the spreads. One of the first spreads that I always do is my grid spacing guide sheet. I haven't changed this. I do have a full separate video explaining how I use this grid spacing guide and how to set one up, so I'm gonna link that because I always get a lot of questions. And it's been pretty much the same for the past 2 to 3 years. So yeah, I'm pretty much a pro at setting these up now, and I just love it. It makes it so easy, and I love putting it on the left side of the page, like on the very first page when you open it up, so that it's easy to reference. And again, at the bottom, I just used those faux magazine letters. The paper that I used for the magazine letters had this cream color. It was like lined paper, so it added to that collage-y look that I was kind of going for this beginning of the year setup. Oh, sorry, not beginning of the year, mid-year setup. On the spread next to it, I wanted to create a simple, nice quote page. I'm using the washi tape as a base and kind of creating a background to it, so cutting it so that it almost is a square. You could do this with any washi tape and use it as a background. It kind of adds extra color and a little bit more detail to your spread without having to doodle a lot. If you do want this swirled background, you can also draw it. Hopefully the swirl washi tape would be released soon, but again, these are just samples, so if you guys like it, let me know. Anyway, I'm cutting out the quote page. I just wanted to write a simple sentence that says, "We're not done yet," because 2022 is not done yet. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but sometimes when I get to the middle of the year, I'm like, wow, this year has gone by so fast, but also at the same time, I feel like I haven't done that much. And I just wanted to remind myself that there's still a lot of time left. Also, just to be patient with myself and encourage myself, because I'm sure there will be some cool memories and great things that will happen for the rest of the year as well. Moving on to my future log. So I always make these mid-year setups almost like a simpler version of the beginning of the year setup, because I still like to keep the whole year cohesive, but at this point in the middle of the year, there's obviously less months, and you know, it's not the beginning of the year, so you're kind of not as excited, but you still want this like fresh new setup. So I'm still keeping within the theme of the future log. In the beginning of the year setup, I made this file folder design, very similar, but obviously since there's less months, I don't need the full file folder function. So I'm actually splitting up the pages into 3 columns each because there's 6 months left, and keeping it really simple, having the months all along the top with the calendars, and then underneath it is where I'll put all of my future events and plans for the rest of the year. I was using this really light watercolory gray marker to match the light gray of the washi tape, the Swirl washi tape, and I like that it adds a little bit something different from the previous beginning of the year setup, but still looks very neutral and simple. I don't know if you guys saw, but I did mess up and I wrote June as the first month because it's currently June, but it's actually supposed to be July through December. So please don't make the same mistake as me. And also be careful when you're writing out these numbers. I will never forget the time where I messed up one number and then it ruined the rest of the numbers and shifted everything, and I had to redo the whole thing. So I'm forever traumatized and triggered by that, so now I just triple check when I do these numbers so that I only have to do it one time. It goes pretty fast because it's only the 6 months at this point. Okay, we are doing my things to check out spread. I put the header at the bottom this time just to switch things up. And you guys know I love doing this also just because I feel like recently I've just been given so many recommendations of things to watch and check out. I don't know if there's just more media out now or what's going on, but I just feel like every time I meet someone new, they're like, oh, you need to watch this, you need to check this out. So even more than usual, I've been using this spread. So it's good that it's in the middle of the year and now I can make a new one because I was running out of space in my previous year one. I split it up into my usual sections, which are TV shows, dramas, animes, movies, books, and podcasts. And if you guys have recently discovered a life-changing book, TV show, whatever, please leave it in the comments, and I will add it to my list because I just love checking out your guys' recommendations. Oh, and for the headers for these boxes, I actually did the swirl or a wavy line instead of a straight sort of box to match the whole wavy, swirly thing we have going on. Also on the right side, use that lined paper to rip a little section, and this is where I'm listing out any completed things that I've done. So once they're checked off from the left side, they kind of go in the right side. And if I have any thoughts about certain things, that's also where I will put it. Finally, we have my mid-year goals check-in point. This is just where I like to recenter myself, ask myself what goals I set at the beginning of the year, where I'm at with each of those goals. Maybe I need to change any goals, set new ones. I think it's a good point in the year to do that. I really kept this spread simple. As you can tell, this whole entire setup was very simple, partially because I've been really busy and I've just been enjoying finding beauty in quick, easy setups that still look cute. Hopefully I achieved that. But also I think it's nice to just have a lot of space to write out my thoughts about my goals and things that I want to manifest. So I split it up into work, personal, wellness, and manifestations. Alright, so that is my bullet journal setup for my second notebook of 2022. I'm excited to see where the second half of this year and this brand new notebook takes us. We're gonna fill it with memories and to-do lists and tasks, and it'll be great. I have a good feeling about this second half of the year, guys. If you're like me and you had a rough half to the first half of the year, then I'm manifesting good energy for the rest of the year for us, okay? We got this. If you guys are also switching into a new bullet journal and you recreate any of my spreads, be sure to share them with me and use our hashtag #LilDoodles. With that being said, the switch has been done, the switch has been swatched, and we're good to go. So keep doodling, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.